Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters, ISB and ISBCC. Eid Mubarak. May Allah accept from you all your good deeds during Ramadan, and may Allah bless you for the very good time that you spent together, your families during that time and during Eid, inshallah. So I hope that you enjoyed the programs that we've been
Eric, you can fix your phone. It's still
ISBCC.
not horizontal.
I think there's like a background noise, Zakaria. So I hope that you enjoy the programs that we provided online during Ramadan. And you know that there was lots of background work in order to make this happen. So I thought of this episode to think about why don't we introduce those fellows behind the screens who works relentlessly days and nights during Ramadan. I know that the time in Ramadan was like very short, so that they bring value to you. So why don't we like interview them and ask them what did they do and what's going on, and at the same time introduce you to the folks that's working behind the screen. As like usually I say that there is a screen that present all the programs and there is intel inside. In this episode, I'm trying to present some of those intel inside people who work behind the screens to make this a blessed month and to bring you value through the programming. So with that, I would like to introduce my guests today. I have Brother Wael. Brother Wael is in the leadership, the CEO for the ISB and ISBC, as well as the endowment. I have Brother Ibrahim. I have Brother Kareem in programming. I have Brother Eric. So I thank you very much for joining me, all of you, today. I really thank you for giving me the time during today's show so that we can know exactly and present what did you do during Ramadan and what's their future plans. So with that introduction, I would like to jump directly and ask Wael. Wael, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for joining me. I can't hear you.
Assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
And by the way, just before that, I missed introducing the pillar of that. Our brother Zakaria. Zakaria was like, this is like a special thing. I will be talking about Zakaria, but Zakaria is the one sitting behind the ISBCC nice fancy logo. And he got this for himself. He's the man, he's the director. Next episode, inshallah, we'll have all the ISBC behind us. Zakaria, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh as well.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So, Brother Wael, I would like first to thank you for all the good work that you did during Ramadan, the leadership, and all the programming that you provided, you and your team during Ramadan. And let me start by very straightforward question. When the ISBCC will be open?
Well, that's the $1 million question.
I won't pay for it. I won't pay $1 million.
But it is worth a lot more than that. We have been away from the masjid for a very long time. I know we all miss actually being there at the masjid, and I know that the community very much misses being there. This is a decision that is not we are not taking lightly. It's a decision that we have to really think about very carefully and consult whether it is with other masajid, with our fuqaha and scholars in the area and all over the US. We are observing what other masajids are doing. We are also seeking different perspective on the issue. We have to rely on a number of things to be able to make this decision, of course. Number one is to go back to our Sharia and fiqh and to our scholars and get the fiqh and Shari'i opinion on all of that. And there is a wealth of literature and studies and opinions and fatwa on how to deal with epidemics, pandemics, emergencies, and number one. Number two, we have to also consult with the medical community. And number three, also, we have to take or fully consider the CDC recommendations and the medical authorities. So it's not an easy decision. We have actually a phased out plan that is in 3 or 4 phases that we will start very soon, inshallah. In the plan that we have discussed with the board and among ourselves, we have agreed that we are going to open very early in June, as early as June 1st, that is in 2-3 days. But at the same time, we have not made the final decision on it. So we still have a meeting on Monday, inshallah, that we will further consult. And 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 decide on the reopening. Again, as I said, it's going to be introduced in phases. Our ultimate objective here is to safeguard the safety and the health of the community and the society at large. That is our driving directive, main directive there in that decision.
Inshallah, this is very good news. That will be open soon, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan wa for all what you are doing and taking the measures into like safety open rather than rushing into like opening and then try to deal with the consequences that we are not ready and well prepared for it. So let me shift this to like programming. Kareem, thank you for joining. And I have a question for you. Like you've been the pillar for working on programming for the past a couple of years in the ISB and ISBCC. And I know that this year is different. You like worked, I would say, day and night doing stuff for programming on the ground. So let me start by asking how this year was different from last year, for example.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Amr. Thank you. Thanks for everyone on the team. Actually, it was a team effort. It was not only me. It was Huda. It was you. It was everyone in the team. Actually, we faced two challenges in this pandemic. First one was how to tackle the new topics and new things that our community is looking for. At that time, it's not a religious program only. We need to do relief programs. We need to do financial assistance programs. We need to do mental health programs. So this all of a sudden a new programs, new guests, and you have to adapt and work on this. Was very challenging. The other thing, how to move all the program to an online forum. Was very challenging because how you will get the community to follow you on the online applications you have, and in this time, it was a very, very noisy time. Everyone sending messages, videos on Facebook, on WhatsApp. So how you will be different at that time. So we work hard on these two challenges. We extend our network. We try to bring the expertise on their field in different topics. We try to use different online forums like the one we use it now, and of course with the support with everyone in the team. So I hope the community get benefit from what we provide during Ramadan, and inshallah we will continue. We have more coming, inshallah, in the coming months.
I would like to really second what you are doing. I think it was great. And actually, the way you presented yourself in programming, I cannot let this pass without thanking our brother Zakaria for that. And now the next question would be for brother Zakaria. Like, brother Zakaria, all of a sudden we found ourselves like doing a great stuff. You were very well prepared. You went into like teaching yourself about new technologies, about like acquiring an app that I saw later on that most other Islamic institutions are using as well. And you not only that, even during Ramadan, Zakaria, you try to upgrade every time. Like there's a Q&A session, there's a program, there's something different, there's something new you are adding to this programming. So I would like to address the next question to you. This doesn't come cheap. I know that you've been there because, like, for example, in my show, just like 30 minutes and then I disappear. However, you would be there all the time, days and nights. Being live, I see that lots of programs. So what was the challenges that you faced so that you can present this in a very wonderful way, the way that you presented? What are some of the challenges that you faced, either like personally or technically?
Thank you, Amr. Thank you very much. Really, the first challenge is how can I displace the studio that we have in ISBCC to my home? You know, everything was a complete setup in the media room in ISBCC. Okay, and that was the first challenge because I mean everything was in like open broadcaster software. It was installed in ISBCC, and it's a direct broadcast from our masjid and our area to the Facebook. And now I'm home, and it's alive. And how can I do it? it was a little challenge, but alhamdulillah, because of my background as an IT background, graphic design, video production, I used all this alhamdulillah experience to do this live streaming. And well, I thank you first, because you're the first one to introduce StreamYard to me. So that was really good help for me, because I had to go online and look which software would work for us, so we can go live. But once you introduced that to me, I didn't go to any other software. I need just to go online now. So I use that StreamYard, but still the StreamYard, I had to train myself with it. I have to see how can I use this. And as I said, to look a little bit professional, you can't just use the default, lower third and those overlays things. No, I have to use again a graphic design background. I had to open straight next to me a Photoshop where I can go and design the name and users and everything. And this is one thing. The second challenge is with the guests. Don't forget, I mean, when you invite guests, each guest doesn't have the good lighting, doesn't have my good microphone, doesn't have good things, and sometimes they come late. I have to prepare myself, and you can tell from now. It's let me say something. Wallahi, it's not almost. It's all Ramadan. I didn't have iftar with my family. I was in a room that closed on me. I made it as a studio. I'm like surrounded with monitors. If I have where I can show you monitors, like two desktops and one laptop spare, okay, with the lighting and everything, just to make things happen and on time.
MashaAllah, Zakaria, and I have to upload that. Really, everyone enjoyed. I received like very good text messages about the way we presented ourselves. And actually, some of the messages are like using the StreamYard right now. So Allah, may Allah bless you for all the good work. I know that personally that you went on like quarantine. Inside the quarantine, you quarantine yourself inside a room so that you can present that. And Allah will reward you for that. Definitely, Allah will reward you. No one knows that you are doing all this effort, but I think Allah will reward you for that. Jazakallah khairan, Zakaria, for all the good work you are doing. And I think it's presented itself in a way that it was very professional. I would say it's very professional. Way to go, man. I think you have a lot to do. I know that you come up with those creative ideas, and may Allah bless you for that. And now, you know that when you come with a building, some of the time is invested on pillars and digging on the infrastructure. And with infrastructure, processes, and setup, so that when we present ourselves with a process. And here I cannot ignore the value and the inputs that been put by our brother Ibrahim. So Ibrahim, thank you for joining. So I know that you're working like I would say submarine style, quiet. You know what you're doing. You're not like us. You don't have this loud voice. You don't. No one knows you. However, you are very important for the infrastructure. And let me tell the audience what does it mean, the infrastructure. It means that if all of us go away, and we'll go away one day, either we'll leave our positions or we'll meet God, I think we need this infrastructure so that others will come and build on it. And you are the man who's doing that. Can you shed some light? What are the stuff that you are working on?
Thank you, Brother Amr. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Assalamu alaikum, community members. And thank you very much for joining us. And thank you for your support and following us all along Ramadan. And may God get us through these days, inshallah, safely. Sure. And save everyone of you, inshallah. Thank you for your question, Brother Amr. And so there are two parts to the question. What are the infrastructure elements that we have, and why do we have them? You gave away part of the answer to why we have them, but there is another part too. So let me start by that. So as Brother Amr said, we need to ensure that the good work that the Islamic Society of Boston is doing is continued, regardless of whether we are here or not. So it's called in business continuity, but in our case, it's a continuity of the service that we provide to the community. The second reason is also to provide the community, provide you guys with an experience and a service that is as consistent as possible, so that you're almost sure what to expect. You know what you're gonna get when you ask for a specific service. You know that you're gonna get it in a specific, consistent manner. Another thing I want to say about this before I start saying what what we have is that this is not a new thing. It's the result that we have currently. The infrastructure that we have currently has been in the making for years by many people, and we are introducing new things. But we also are building on the work of people who worked before us and had also that in mind. We're only building upon it and augmenting it and making sure it continues and remains for anyone who comes after us. So first, we have a strategic plan and direction that we have developed through a Shura process with community members, stakeholders, the board, the team. So we have a strategic plan and direction for the future with specific strategic goals in mind. We have policies and procedures for our services, for our programs, and for our internal operations. We have a donor relationship management platform, which is Salesforce. Salesforce is mostly used in for-profit business, but it's also used for non-profit business to manage donor relationship, just as it's used to manage a customer relationship in business. We have a wealth of community data. We have a completely revamped website, thanks to the amazing efforts of our brother Zakaria. We also have a platform for crowdsourcing and for launching crowdfunding campaigns, thanks to the efforts of our brother Ihab. And I think a bonus benefit that we got from the whole pandemic situation is that now we also have an infrastructure that helps us expand our reach to the community, to be not only through in-person interaction and through our physical space, but also on the cyberspace through online services and the TV channel. And I have to say that in every element of this infrastructure, almost everyone was involved. So even though someone was leading the creation of that part of the infrastructure, but everyone was involved, and everything I worked with, I worked on and developed. I used input from everyone, and everyone helped me so much and provided so much insight and input. And not only everyone from the team, but I also got really good insights from community members outside the team.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim. This is very insightful. I know that the stuff you are working on is not seen by many. However, it's important for all of us. Just before getting to our brother Eric, I see that our brother Sej is joining live us now. Sej, I would like to thank you for all the effort. I know that you couldn't make it today in this show. However, we don't want your effort to go without mentioning. You did a great job during Ramadan. Would like to thank you, Sej. I know that you're managing a marhama and you're doing lots of stuff, bringing ideas and doing the design. So I'd like to thank you on air right now for all the good work they are doing, as well as our sister Huda. So just before moving to Eric, now I know that all of us used to work for now during the past 2 months from home. However, there's some job descriptions that couldn't be done from home. And this is the facility, this is the security. And hereby, I would like to invite our brother Eric. I know that it wasn't an easy Ramadan for you. While we are in our homes, every time we ask about you, you are somewhere with your team, moving around, make sure that we are safe or our facilities are safe. So tell us exactly what was your days in Ramadan looks like.
SubhanAllah, it was very dynamic, I would say. Very dynamic. Doing security for the ISB, which within the organization has considered the largest masjid in New England, second largest masjid on the East Coast. It's definitely doing security for a high-profile Islamic organization like that in America is definitely a dynamic situation, especially during one of the worst pandemics in human history. And then also with general, I suppose, hectic political climates in America and what everyone's dealing with in America right now. All of this is taken into account because I take a very holistic approach to security and community safety, involving aspects from emergency medical background that I have over the past 17 years. My background being involved in at the police academy and being involved as a subcontractor for the Federal Protective Service Police, being involved in a wide array of high level security all over the country. It's from the angle that I see things from a security perspective is not typical. And I believe that that is what the ISB community deserves. They deserve a type of security that is holistic, that could meet um, general security needs for the community, and also a much more holistic type of security and safety for the community, so that they don't have to just rely on police or EMS or fire for their security and safety. They actually have first responders on scene all the time, ready to respond to anything that can happen.
Thank you for all the good work that you're doing, Eric, and your team. Let me get back to Brother Wael. Brother Wael, what shall the community expect when the opening of the ISB and ISBC happens? What should they expect if, like, we open next week, or like how the prayers will go, and what programming will be there, and how they can be prepared, so that's what's their responsibility getting into the ISB and ISBCC.
Well, first of all, I just wanted to mention here that so far, Alhamdulillah, we have been able to do what we were able to do in Ramadan. Is just because we had, mashallah, a very good, solid team that is working together, thinking together, and very much quality oriented and highly committed to the ISBCC, ISB Cambridge, and the community. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you to all of you, actually. I'm really very proud to be working with such a wonderful, highly motivated, committed, and a professional team. So, Jazakumullah khair. I know that Sister Suad did not join us today, uh, but I want to also mention that Sister Suad, the office manager, has been doing a wonderful job as she really moved the front desk from ISB CC into her home, as we have been all working from home. Also, I wanted to thank and appreciate our partners, the ICNA Relief, MCSS, for partnering with us to uh, be of help and relevance to the community when it needed us. With the You Are Not Alone campaign, that is the brainchild of Brother Ihab, who is our community development manager, who is not with us today, who came up with the idea, and we pursued it. And again, thanks to the community who really trusted us with their giving and their donations, so that we could feed 250, 300 people a day throughout the month of Ramadan, of the community support and the iftar sponsorship. The You Are Not Alone project that we were able to collect thousands of dollars that we channeled through ICNA Relief and MCSS to get it to the people who need it the most. All of that has to be mentioned and has to be appreciated. So, Jazakumullah khair, everyone, for that. It couldn't have had happened without a good, solid team. Hilal and his group, his facility team, they have done a wonderful job in disinfecting the place, renovating, cleaning, sprucing up the place, and doing the what is necessary to make it really ready to receive our community back, inshallah, when we decide to reopen. What should the community expect? Should not expect less than, inshallah, excellent service. Prayers will come back. I know it's not going to be the same. And I want to say here, this is going to be a partnership between us delivering on our promises of keeping the community safe, and also delivering on our mission and the reason for our existence, which is to serve the community with social, spiritual, cultural, educational programs. That should all be part of the expectations. We will continue to do that, although maybe in a different format now that we will have the virtual as an extension of our physical presence. But on top of that, I want to say that this is a partnership. So we expect from the community, inshallah, to adhere to the maximum standard of safety and work with us. If we are going to restrict access, it is for your own good, my dear brothers and sisters. It's not to make your life difficult. If we are going to insist on social distancing, it's for your own protection. If we are going to insist on masks or any other measures, then it is all really for your own protection. And we expect you to cooperate with us on all of that and be yourself a messenger to the larger community of awareness and of cooperation, inshallah, with the management. So you should not have any less expectations as far as delivering on our promises and services, but with a change, as I said, of how we are going to do things due to this pandemic. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that also will pass, and we have learned so much from this experience that we will emerge, inshallah, much stronger as an organization, as a community, and as people who think rationally and not be driven only by emotions and pressure. In the best interest of the community.
Jazakallah. And I have Sister Sana Azzuddin, and is telling everyone on the screen, Jazakumullah khairan for all what you are doing. Jazakallah khairan, Sister Sana, for acknowledging the team that did this work during the pandemic and during Ramadan. And just before moving to Kareem, how's programming is going to look after Ramadan right now? What shall we expect from programming after Ramadan? Like people are hungry right now to go back to the mosque, do halaqat Quran, and I know that you run some of those during Ramadan with Brother Zakaria's help, and the Maqra'a never stopped. However, like, should people expect to go back to the ISB, Cambridge ISBCC in Roxbury? So, what's the plan post Ramadan and post Eid, inshallah?
Thank you, Dr. Amr, Brother Wael. So we are working now in two directions. The first direction will keep the online programs to keep the momentum that we built during Ramadan and the past 2 months during this pandemic. We now have a good number of viewers, and we have a good followers on the online forums now. So we will keep some programs online, and we will start like as a trial project to have one program indoors inside the mosque to see will be received with good attendees from our community. Will they like this, or they will prefer to keep or stay at home and follow our online programs? So this is will be the expectation. We will move in the two directions: the online programs and the indoor program.
Jazakallah khairan, Kareem. Well, prior to us getting live, you said that you have a very good surprise for the community. I won't ask you to say it right now. We don't know it actually. So, however, I'm telling the audience, please follow the ISB and ISBC Facebook page and website, because there is a very good news that's going to be announced in like 2 or 3 days maximum from today. So please stay tuned in that. I would like to close with Brother Zakaria. Brother Zakaria, as Kareem mentioned, that we're doing an excellent job right now online, either like in Facebook, on Instagram, on our YouTube channel and our media. And how you would see your efforts like right now split between being on site at the ISBCC and at the same time managing this online. So how you will manage that? And I know that you are a person of like, you'd like to give more, you'd like to be on a physical presence, and you'd like to run stuff that's inside the ISBC. Do you think this will impact the online programs, or how we will keep this strike the balance between both?
It's a good question. Yes, I think I already talked to Brother Wael, our director, and I told him I cannot move from home now. Okay, it's not that easy, simple. Just go move from home and go to the building. And like I can't be half way. Either go move everything again to the ISBCC or stay home and do the work. And I'm staying here. And by staying here, let me just take advantage of this opportunity to tell you. And I'm going the new things for me. It's we coming up with the new software. We not inshallah in the future sooner. We no longer using StreamYard. We using the most pro softwares, the VMAX softwares. Okay, that's why I talked to Wael, and thank you very much, Wael, for your help. And we getting more equipment and more lighting and more computer things to just go pro with the software. That's why I'm spending, even the Ramadan is over. It's not over for me. I'm still closing. You can tell I'm still closed in my room, doing training for their VMAX and going to doing sample demos and buying software courses from online. So inshallah, the community will be happy with our production and just to serve everybody, inshallah.
MashaAllah, yani, I have to say that I'm personally proud of you. I'm proud of all the Islamic institutions that did an online agility moving into online, MashaAllah. And I would say that the ISBCC like took the flagship to move immediately in a very professional way to that. I'm proud from the project management team, analysis team, Brahim. I'm proud of Kareem, definitely of what he's doing in programming. Kareem, I know that you was on site and working from home as well. You deserve some time working right now. You're driving, taking the kids out. You deserve that. Brother Eric, thank you very much for like what you are doing, you and your team. We are missing Brother Hilal and his facility, like Wael mentioned them. Thank you very much, Wael. Sister Suad, Huda, and all our partners. Thank you, Dr. Khalil. Thank you, Dr. Basuni. Thank you for all the people that our guest speakers who joined us in their at a time, and hope that those ropes will not be cut. As a matter of fact, we need to develop them more so that we can be more valuable to the community, delivering the stuff that will be in need and in demand during the coming period. I personally thank you for all. I'm proud of you, and thank you for joining, and hope that I personally, unlike Zakaria, I would like to see you and hug you. Who knows when, but this is going to happen soon, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan.